We want to thank our amazing sponsor, the rope drop queen herself, Michelle McKnight. She's a destination specialist with touring plans and can help you plan an amazing vacation. Whether it's Disney, Universal, a cruise, or an all-inclusive, she can help you with booking, planning, and strategizing to help you have an incredible experience at a great rate. Contact her today at michelle@touringplans.com. Now, on to the show.
Helping you navigate the Disney parks.
With the hope that it will be a source of joy and inspiration to all the world.
You're listening to Rope Drop Radio.
Welcome to a special Rope Drop Radio. That's right, Doug. You just got back from a cruise.
Yes, it's back. It's happening.
It has been, 18 months since we've talked cruising? I need to go back and look the last time we had a trip report.
Right? So it would have been January of 2020 was our last cruise trip report. And then we had all these plans to talk about cruising. None of them mattered. It was like Thanos came and snapped cruising away.
But it's back. You are the third ship out, and we are going to talk all about it on this week's episode. I'm excited to live vicariously through you. But first, we have to thank a new Patreon. So thank you, Troy, for joining the Rope Drop Radio community, getting a bunch of bonus episodes this last week, including in-depth on Tokyo Disney Sea. So if you want to hear more about that, you have to check out our Patreon page. And then we got a few more reviews this week, Doug.
We did. Thank you very much for the reviews. It's kind of the thing that keeps the show going, believe it or not, with the way the computer systems all mathematicalize things. I can't really explain it. I'm a dentist. All right, here it is. Love That Lightning Round. 5 stars by KC. I think I pronounced it right. Rope Drop Radio is a great resource for anyone who wants to make the most of their next Disney trip. I also love listening to the lightning round on each episode with a new guest. It's a lot of fun to hear each guest Disney's favorites. Check out this podcast.
Yeah, and it's been really great on our Patreon page, going through the lightning round with all of our Patreon listeners.
Yeah, it's been fun.
It's so amazing how many different answers everyone has.
Some surprising answers.
Suspicious, very suspicious on some of them.
Is that your favorite? Okay. It's you make up your favorite. It turns out not everybody likes Dole Whip and cinnamon rolls, Derek.
That's true. Weirdos, I guess,
just
don't.
a couple that did, and it was like, oh my gosh, so many desserts that were not right.
Well, talking about desserts, I'm sure you ate plenty on this cruise that you were on, but you were not alone, Doug.
No.
You had your better half, Michelle McKnight, the rope drop queen. She actually took you. Thus, we are bringing her on the show to talk more all about it. So, Michelle, welcome back to Rope Drop Radio. My first question to you is, how did it feel getting back on a ship after 18 months of not... Did you ever even think you were going to cruise again at this point? How was it?
Yeah, I was beginning to wonder. No, this was amazing. This was a last minute opportunity I was given, and I got to bring Doug along. And we really didn't have time for it. We barely fit it into our schedule, but oh my goodness, I'm so glad we did. It felt like old times. Like I felt like back to normal, everything. I just felt good.
Yeah, it really did feel just like cruising. Grant, we'll talk about the different COVID policies as we go through the show, but it was great. I didn't think up until we got on the ship, I thought there was the rug. It was going to get pulled out from underneath us, or like Lucy had the football there and we were Charlie Brown and something was going to happen at the last minute.
I was wondering the same thing. I'm not going to lie. I was like, oh, this is a McKnight maneuver right here. So,
I mean, Southwest Airlines attempted for it to be that way too. We got bonus time in every airport. So, yay, airports. Okay, that's enough about airports.
But you got on the ship, and that is the key thing. I probably would have cried walking on a ship. I probably will in November. That's when my next cruise is. But let's talk about what you sailed and what itinerary you did.
Yeah, we were on the Freedom of the Seas. It's Royal Caribbean's third cruise out of the U.S. since cruising started again. Yeah. Carnival has also sailed, but this was Royal Caribbean's third cruise. It was a 3-night Bahamian cruise. We went to CoCo Cay, which is Perfect Day at CoCo Cay, Royal Caribbean's private island. And then we also went to Nassau. And we sailed out of Miami.
It is a great ship. At one time, it was the largest ship in the world.
Which was a few years ago.
A few. One of our children were alive.
But right before COVID, it had just began sailing again after re-amplification.
It had one voyage. Got done with this huge remodel, like gutted it.
Yeah.
Other than the staterooms.
It was amazing. It felt like an Oasis class ship, actually, with the new stuff it had on board.
But you didn't have to get all the steps in.
Yeah, there was.
And I bet it was clean and fresh as can be.
Oh, yeah.
It was good.
Yeah.
It didn't show its age at all. Maybe in the bathroom a tiny bit, but other than that.
We cruise a lot of Disney, and we'll, at the end of the show, do a little bit of Disney stuff. So it's a hard comparison.
Yeah.
But it was great. It was a great ship, and we'll talk about some of the features as we go through here. But we got to start at the beginning, right?
Yeah, start at the beginning. What is it like, especially with the changes with embarkation?
So the biggest thing, definitely the biggest thing, is you get arrival time. Now, in the past, like with Disney, we just totally ignore that and show up and get in line as early as we could, right?
And I did that with Royal too before.
And so now, though, to spread out the crowd so they don't have a mob at the beginning, they want you to show up at that time. So ours was 2:00.
Whoa, that's weird for you guys.
Right? It's not 9 a.m. So had we gotten there at, say, 1:00, we would have had to just stand outside in the sun waiting. And they told you this. I mean, anybody that claims they weren't told to show up at that time, they clearly didn't read all the boxes they were checking.
Yeah, and we got a push notification that morning that says, don't show up till 2 p.m.
You're not getting in. Don't show up. And that's the big key. And I have a feeling that will be the same way for Disney. I guarantee that's going to happen for a while for every cruise line. It makes sense.
Yeah. And we took an Uber from our hotel in downtown Miami. And great Ubers. I mean, they're showing up on time.
They're showing up there.
They have no idea where to go.
I don't know that guy had ever driven to the cruise port. Because we get in the car, he's like, airport? No, the cruise port, cruise ship, airport. Like, no.
He's like, there's not cruise ships sailing. Yeah. Yes, there are.
There are now. Fortunately for you, there's starting to be cruises again. And oh my gosh.
But anyway, so we showed up in the Uber. It was about 1:45 when we showed up. So it wasn't quite 2.
By the time we got to line, it was like 1:55.
There are porters, and they are taking your bags.
Mm-hmm. So you put the little tag on before, and that makes them excited when you already have it there.
You get a Royal Caribbean e-docs. Make sure you print the luggage tags because it's just so much easier. Put them on your bags before you get to the port, and then they do take them. Don't forget to tip those guys because they haven't been
working for 15 months.
Oh, it's a good call. Good tip.
I think we tipped bigger than we normally did everywhere.
Probably. But we were just so happy to sail. They got lucky.
And I'm so
glad money for everybody. I'm getting on a ship.
Yeah. But then there was a line, that snaked back and forth, and then so we just got in it, and by the time we got up to the door, it was 2, so there was no problem.
Then you show the first person you come to your e-docs, your papers, right?
No, actually, I never got out the papers. I actually added it to my Apple Wallet.
Oh, she's fancy like
that.
It
was a C Pass. So Disney Cruise Line has a Key to the World card.
Yeah.
Royal Caribbean has a C Pass.
It was on her phone. I
just put it on my Apple Wallet. And I had Doug's too.
She had to take care of me like a child.
Yeah. So I just showed that to them, and then right away they asked for the vaccination cards,
which we already told them we had when we did online check-in, because you're allowed to present it to them online. You don't have to, because you could have sailed as unvaccinated, but they had to have the right ratio of vaccinated and unvaccinated to sail.
We agreed that we were vaccinated before they accepted us.
Yeah.
So you had your paper card with you and you held it up to them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just to verify
and they took a picture of it, and it went right into our file.
So I don't know if they took that picture and they go and verify that the numbers are an actual vial that from an actual clinic in an actual place. They could. There's a database for that. I don't know why we're not using it, but I don't know if they have access to that through some back channel political things.
And then
I'll be quiet.
And then they asked us the same questions that I had filled out the day prior. So 24 hours before you sail, you actually get a push notification that tells you to answer your health questionnaire questions. And then you either get approved or you don't get approved. So they asked those again in person, and we had to verbally respond. And then they let us pass.
Basically say, we're feeling good. We're good to go. Haven't been around anybody.
Pass.
Yep. And they didn't let us pass. They gave us a magical purple wristband.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
So we wore a purple wristband the whole time, and that let all the crew know we were vaccinated.
Well, let's talk about something. Were you wearing a mask during the at the cruise port?
Yes.
Yes.
Is that something that's mandatory right now for everybody?
For this ship, yes, because it's not a fully vaccinated cruise. Inside spaces were required for masks, except for vaccinated only areas. Then you could be maskless. So there were a few areas in the ship where unvaccinated people could not go, and we'll talk about those as we go through all the different topics. But yeah, that's a good question, Derek. So,
and they didn't allow gators, and it tells you that before.
Right at the get-go, just like Disney World.
Yeah, no one allows gators. Except for our high school and YMCA games. There you go.
Yeah, so they gave those people, they made them put on a real mask before they got on the ship.
They did let the mesh one through, though.
Well,
they can't get them all, I guess.
No.
Can't get them all.
Well, let's move on. You guys got on the ship. You're all good to go.
Yeah, it was all smooth sailing from there.
Yep.
Except they made me take my sunglasses off my head to go through a metal detector. My plastic sunglasses. Come on now.
So you know how you normally, like, you go through security and you kind of wait until they let you go on? Well, you did your waiting outside. They don't want you to wait in the terminal.
You just walk through.
So we just walked literally right through.
That just sounds magical in itself.
Yeah, that's the good thing about all these arrival times. You just walk to the next thing. You walk to the next thing, and then you're on. And then right when we got on, they basically capture you. And they ask what your assembly station is, which if you're new to cruising, there's a letter on your card so that's where you go in case, the ship's going down. You got to get on your lifeboat. So they take you to your muster station. We did it like there was 4 of us that went through the muster thing. And we're done. First thing we did on the ship.
That sounds magical. Why? I hope it's like that forever.
Right? So much better than lining up in a row in the sun So it worked out real well.
They scanned our card like 3 times, and they gave us a sticker when we were done.
Yeah, so you had a sticker on your card that you finish your muster thing. And so then you had to complete it on the app or on the TV, and then we were good. And they announced for the next 4 hours
what percentage of the ship had done
90% have done it. 10%, and they weren't shy about calling 10% slackers and things like that. Right?
Yeah.
Because they have to do the muster thing before they can
sail. Yeah.
And it's a problem with the old-fashioned muster, but this was great because it was just done.
Oh, it sounds awesome.
To our room.
Yeah.
Right? We went right to our room.
And your room was ready already?
It was, yep. Yeah.
Now, it's possible the room we were in was not used on the previous sailing because our ship sailed with around 900 passengers. It's a 3,000 passenger ship.
Okay.
So that might play into it a little bit on how fast the room was. But then again, think on Disney, usually the rooms are ready at 2. We
got on at 2. Yeah, it makes sense.
So it was 2:30 by the time we were done mustering.
All right.
Best muster ever.
That sounds like, and I hope they keep it. Let's move on to dining, Doug, because I know you like to eat, and I know a lot of people are wondering what the buffets look like and meals. So what is that like now under kind of the new restrictions and everything? Did you eat a lot? Was there still a lot of food?
More than you can handle.
Okay, perfect. That's all I need. That's all I care about.
I felt guilty because I didn't have enough time for pizza, and I didn't have enough time for tacos all the time.
They have a counter service taco place, burritos, tacos, quesadilla.
Called El Loco Fresh.
Yep. Up on the pool deck. That was the best thing ever. But they don't have burgers and fries and chicken strips up on the pool deck. So I guess you can only have one or the other.
The Windjammer. I sound like Matt.
Oh my gosh. The Windjammer. Jeez.
Buffet, yes. They do have it for breakfast and lunch. They do not have it for dinner right now.
Which there's only 900 people. I mean, you got to close some venues. You don't need everything open.
The crew does serve you.
Yeah, you hold your plate. They put the food on. So if you're real particular about your food touching, you might want to navigate the plate to just the right spot.
But I'm good with that because I hated having the teenagers and the little kids touch it. And
I hated having my children touch it. They're disgusting enough.
Yeah, it's gross.
No, we should never touch buffet utensils again.
Carnival, I'm told.
They're already doing it, though.
Yeah, Carnival's already letting people touch stuff.
But they're also sailing 100% vaccinated.
That's very true as well.
Yeah, so that's a big difference.
Windjammer.
It's good.
It's operating.
Yeah. Buffet's there.
We did the unlimited dining package, which on a 3-night cruise, it might be a little much.
So how much weight did Doug put on?
This much.
Wow. You guys can't see it, but
out
there
of
you
practice.
Not in. I needed to
cruise shape.
work on my cruise shape before by just gorging myself at various times of the day.
Yeah. So we didn't do the main dining room at all for dinner. We ended up doing it on the last day for breakfast, but we did specialty dining all 3 nights.
Yeah, which we evidently eat like old people, and we're essentially the only people in one restaurant for like 45 minutes.
You are one of the slowest eaters I've ever eaten with, Doug, and I know a few of our listeners who have traveled with you know that you're one of the slowest eaters that is on the planet.
You know, that's a topic I don't know that's come up on the show ever.
I eat fast, so Doug.
She mainly just sits there and watches me eat.
Yeah, that's what I did. That's what I do on our rope drop radio trips.
I don't think we've ever discussed this. Yes, I am a slow eater. There's no shame in that, guys. There's no shame.
Shame when you're trying to get to your next thing. I know Michelle's ready to go to something else. There you go.
Yeah. So we ate at Chops, and that's a steakhouse. The steak was excellent.
And in the dining rooms, even in the Windjammer, they are still putting socially distanced tables, so you can't sit at the table next to you. They don't want you to move chairs. It's like we were taken back in time.
It's when COVID was
which I kind of welcome because nice. I don't like sitting next to strangers.
I feel like it's the appropriate amount of distance between tables because some of those restaurants are so close. I don't need to hear what you're talking about. But Chops was good, and then
we went to Giovanni's the next night. That's Italian, and then the third night we
Japanese steakhouse
to Izumi.
Yep.
Yeah, that was the one I was the most jealous of. Looking at all your pictures,
it was really good flavor wise. It was good. I got chicken, which is what every smart person would get. Michelle always forgets and is not smart and orders steak. And I look at her like, you're going to want my chicken. And then she eats my chicken. And then after she stole a couple pieces of chicken, the chef gave me some more because she stole mine.
For the record, she took you on the cruise so she can steal your chicken.
Yeah, exactly.
So dessert-wise at the specialty dining, the steakhouse, I don't know. They might have just been the same desserts from the main dining room. There wasn't anything groundbreaking. But at the Italian place, at Giovanni's, there's this banana.
It's called Go Bananas.
Go Bananas. I'm going to have to try to make it. I need a pizza oven.
It was like a banana pizza with Nutella.
Yeah, basically it was a pizza with Nutella and bananas and rolled up and baked in the pizza oven.
I almost canceled the Izumi so we could go back and have that
just
the last night.
Sounds good.
Fantastic.
Yeah. One thing about the specialty dining, and lots of people don't understand this, but with Royal Caribbean, if you do the unlimited package, you don't book your dining times or places before you get to the ship. So you actually have to wait to book those. People are going to worry and freak out that they're not going to get a time they want, but they do save plenty of time for the unlimited dining.
They'd have to since they offer it that way,
yeah.
Right?
But that's how it's always been. But I just had that conversation with a client, and yep, don't freak out.
Yeah, and our unlimited dining also helped us with snacks at Playmakers during the Euro Championship game.
So when they did the re-amplification, they put Playmakers on there, which is a sports bar.
Gigantic.
Every cruise ship needs a sports bar.
This was better than
Disney's
because it's just so much bigger.
But it's a la carte food, so it's not included in the price.
But Disney doesn't offer food at theirs.
That's correct.
They offer a couple things, but not like food.
It's correct.
This Playmakers offers. There's some decent nachos. The onion rings, we would have eaten them had we not been waiting for the dessert. They had like this s'mores dessert that was ridiculously good. We should have just gotten that 3 times.
So on every cruise, I'm full, but then I eat more because it's a cruise. Did you do that at least for me?
Every day.
Yes. Perfect.
Yeah, like I felt like, oh, I should.
Yeah.
But I haven't been on a ship for so long. I got to eat this too.
Yeah. The craziest thing about watching the Euro Championship with Italy and England was I thought it would be a whole bunch of England fans. And everybody's cheering for Italy except for like 4 of us. So that was unfortunate.
Back to soccer. All right, moving back to the cruise. We mentioned your stateroom a little bit, but what is it like right now? Anything different with staterooms? Or since it's a not as full ship, were they going every other or not doing people getting
we had
value
neighbors.
rooms, or what would happen?
We had neighbors.
We had neighbors on one side.
I don't know that there's a rhyme or a reason, because people booked certain staterooms and they're kind of letting people have those.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know. The stateroom was nice. It's about 200 square feet. Remember, when you have a veranda, square footage of a stateroom includes the veranda. The veranda was gigantic, bigger than what we're used to on the Disney ships by a little bit, because it was deeper, not necessarily wider.
They have a magnet that they put up on the door that says "sanitized and ready for you."
Mm-hmm.
That's really the only thing.
The remote was in a baggie.
Okay.
And there was like a bottle of hand sanitizer, couple masks.
2 masks, yeah.
Which I'm saving for a special day when I can wear my Royal Caribbean mask. Watch, I'm going to open it. It's just going to be like a plain blue mask, isn't it? I'm going to cry.
But they did still come in 2 times.
Yeah.
So they came in the morning, came in the night. That's what I was kind of wondering.
If they'd just be like, you clean your own room. We're going to stand over here.
Yeah.
That's part of the magic of cruising. When you come in and it's clean. Yeah.
I was afraid that would disappear.
Still got towel animals.
I saw that, and you put a rope drop radio hat on them, so thank you.
Well, he's a fan. That elephant was a fan.
That's good.
Yeah.
Glad he listens.
Yes. They have great internet access on the ship, so he's able to download all his podcasts.
And they still gave cruise compasses. Cruise compasses are like navigators for Disney Cruise Line people. So they still print those, even though you have the app.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of strange.
Looking at you, Disney, when you come back. Looking at you. You better keep printing them.
I love printing because, it's fun to do with the kids.
And then in the stateroom, too, right when we got there was a little card. Then it had like a QR code on it. You had to scan that and then pick your departure time. So they wanted to know
right away
when you were leaving. You didn't do that prior to arriving on the ship.
And we picked the absolute latest time we could.
Which was 9:30.
Yeah. Which wasn't late enough, as it turns out.
Yeah, it was the last departure group.
Yeah.
We'll get to that, but we still have a few more things I want to cover. One is shows, because that's the second best thing to do on a cruise ship after eating until you're almost dead, is going to see live entertainment. And I know some Broadway shows are starting back up and everything. And so what was it like on a ship?
It was good because the theater was a vaccinated only area.
The lower bowl of the theater.
Right.
The balcony was unvaccinated, and then they were all socially distanced up there.
Yeah, so the lower
Did they have to wear a mask if they're unvaccinated?
Yes.
Okay.
They were supposed to wear one all the time.
No, they could have it off on the pool deck.
Okay,
outside.
fine.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
And when they were eating and drinking. But so it was just a vaccinated area for the lower area on deck 3. And there's no one on the ship. There was hardly anyone in the audience. I felt bad for the
poor
performers.
Comedians. Like, I've played some tough crowds back in the day. No, I'm joking.
They played it to their. I mean, they joked about
that
12 people came tonight.
Yeah, and like there was so many new cruisers, which blew my mind.
That this is their first trip ever.
This is your first cruise?
Wow! And so, I would have never guessed that.
You're going to be so spoiled.
Yeah, the one comedian went on about that for 10 minutes. Like, wait till you go on your next cruise. You walk in and there's a line. You're not going to know what to do.
It's like people who went to Disney World for the first time in September. So, yeah.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Like back July through October of last year.
They did have one Broadway-style show called Once Upon a Time, which is a little weird.
I don't know.
For
don't
big
know about
Disney
that one.
people to see that. It's like pop music set with all your favorite fairy tales, which also all your favorite fairy tales happen to be Disney movies, except Little Red Riding Hood. Yeah, that's not Disney.
Yeah, but I mean, it was still good to sit in a theater.
Yeah.
There's comedians one night, then there was Once Upon a Time one night, and then the last night there was a comedian juggler.
Yes. Let's just say juggler.
Man, that's what I should have done. I could have been someone. Comedian juggler.
Comedian juggler.
And then Freedom of the Seas has an ice skating rink, which here I'm sure, not too far in the distant future we'll be able to ice skate on it again. I ice skated at sea before. It's fun. It's different.
Just make sure you have your travel insurance paid up before you do that.
They're not allowing that right now, but they do still have the ice show, the ice skating show. FreedomIce.com is what they call it. Also,
I don't know
kind of
why
strange.
It needs a .com. The name of the show is that. It's not a website you go to, as I learned.
Tried to. It doesn't work.
That's weird. You think it'd be like cross-branding.
Yeah, we sat close enough to the performance that we got hit by ice shavings.
They do some pretty crazy like jumps and things in just a really small amount of
little space.
And they have vaccinated shows for that and non-vaccinated shows. So if you're vaccinated, you can go to any show. You just leaving your mask on.
Yeah. But by going to the unvaccinated show, we got to take our mask off.
Those are
at times
designated
it was
with
cold,
a V.
so you might have wanted to wear it.
Those are designated with a V on the cruise compass.
Yeah, the ice show is cool. Now, do I feel like everybody needs an ice show on their cruise ship?
Yes.
No.
Oh.
No, I'm
so
okay.
Cool. I like
I don't know.
Ice-capades, Disney on Ice. They could bring that to one of the ships.
They could.
Heck, they just had a show here a couple weeks ago. So yeah.
Little Disney on Ice, yeah.
Yeah, so it's back.
But the shows were good. The music was good. There was a live band for the Once Upon a Time. That's one thing that Disney does not do that frustrates me, is have live musicians for their stage shows.
I wonder why that frustrates you, trumpet player.
And I got to make a joke of, look, a working trombone player. Because trombone players can't get jobs.
Oh, there you go.
That's a band
joke. I'm going to move on now to ports, because you guys did get to check out some ports. Some of them haven't been open for 18 months. So, what was it like? Which one do you want to talk about first?
Start with Nassau.
Okay.
Let's start. We'll start with Nassau.
That place has been hit hard with not having cruisers, for sure.
Yeah, that's like their number one economy through and through,
I think
right?
It's number 1 through 5 economy ways, but yes.
Yeah. So a lot of things closed right off the ship. We got off. First of all, we were able to walk off the ship. Did not have to book an excursion to get off. Unvaccinated guests had to book an excursion. So we walked off. We went a couple blocks this way, a couple blocks this way, a couple blocks that way. The straw market, all closed.
Oh, bummer. I love that place.
Yep. Senior Frogs, closed.
What?
Diamond International, closed. There was probably 2 jewelry stores open, which in my opinion is enough. There was a couple souvenir shops open. I think we saw 3. Maybe
3 or 5, somewhere between 3 and 5.
One might have been more convenient store.
I'm a little disappointed because Michelle does not have her hair all beaded and braided right now.
No one's touching.
No one's doing that. Okay.
No.
That's always when you get off the ship. You got to. When I took my daughter, they were trying to harass her and to get it done.
Yeah, we've managed to avoid such things.
Yeah.
But no, one nice thing is you walk off the ship and you don't get harassed by 1,000 people. That's what Nassau's notorious for. They also have a ton of construction going on. They're totally redoing the pier. The old festival building you had to go through, gone. They're building really nice looking modern facilities, dining, all kinds of stuff right there on the pier. And so you can see some pictures of what it's going to look like. I think it's late 22 is when that's supposed to be done. So it's kind of cool knowing that even though they're not making money, they're dumping money into it. Don't know how.
Gotta spend money to make money, Doug.
Well, I think Royal and Carnival are paying for a lot of it, actually, if I read that right. I doubt Disney is, but it's going to look great, I thought, looking at it. Didn't you?
Yeah, it was really good.
Is Atlantis open right now?
Yes
and no.
Not for cruise passengers.
Okay.
Or outside guests.
Yeah, you have to just be a guest of Atlantis to go there. Blue Lagoon is open, and they had all the excursions going. Mm-hmm. Blue Lagoon's where Michelle forced me to touch a dolphin a few years ago. So
and he still has nightmares in his sleep.
Yes, dolphins are scary.
But normally we don't get off in Nassau.
But
we thought it was important to get off.
We did, and normally we don't buy anything on vacation, but we decided to go and buy something. So we found a 3-4 type of deal with these hat and t-shirt thing, and we got each kid a hat and a t-shirt and a wristband. Yeah. So
and you got a shirt.
And
too.
I got a shirt. I was like, you know what? I can buy the shirts. They weren't expensive. Dry fit. Wear it to.
Well, you're supporting an economy that hasn't been active for almost 2 years. Exactly.
Right. That's like we felt compelled to spend a little money. You could tell they were very excited just to have customers.
Was there any other ships in port?
No.
And we're pretty sure that only 2 can be in port right now.
Yeah,
because of the pier construction. Maybe 3.
Maybe 3
on the other side. I don't know.
I don't know. I think 3 because that was paved the whole way.
Okay.
I think 3, which so they need to get that other. They were working on it on a Sunday on the other pier, so then they
We
could
were
get 2 more
supposed to
back.
be at NASA the first day, but we ended up Royal swapped it like 2 days beforehand.
Yeah.
So
that's another thing. Just be flexible with all the rules and regulations. But it was nice being able to just walk off the ship, check things out, walk back on the ship. Got our steps in. That way we could eat more that day.
Oh, it makes sense.
I don't feel like most people got off.
No.
And I don't know if that's just because it's NASA or if it's just because you had to be part of an excursion if you were unvaccinated. I'm not sure.
Yeah. But Blue Lagoon is a great excursion.
Yeah.
A great beach and lots to do for sure. So don't hesitate to pull the trigger on that one. Unless you hate dolphins, then stay away.
You don't have to touch the dolphins. That was a whole different price range.
It's true. She forced it on me.
I feel like there's a therapy session that needs to come out of that one. But let's talk about your other place. You went to it's
Perfect Day.
Perfect Day at CoCo Cay. There you go.
Even though the locals would call it a key, Royal calls it a K. It drives me insane. That island.
That looks insane.
Nice.
Insanely
so
awesome.
So much going on.
It's huge. So
Slides
Castaway
and everything.
So Castaway is like yay big, right? This place is like big. Like I don't know if you could see.
No one
that.
can see your hands right now.
No.
I think Doug about 3 times larger with his hands to give you a reference.
Easily. So it's phenomenal. It's huge. It's got the largest freshwater pool in the Caribbean because the ocean isn't enough. Let's build a giant pool. And then after like a day at the beach, a day at the pool isn't enough. Let's build a water park.
Yeah, a massive water park.
Largest water slide in North America. Tallest water slide in North America.
And this is all refurbished too in the last couple years.
It just opened a couple years ago.
Yeah, it's not old. So the big thing though to know is that the water park is not included in your cruise fare.
So when I said it just opened, I meant the water park, not the island.
The island's been there for quite a while. But the water park is a significant add-on price-wise.
It was like $79 per person for our cruise.
That seems.
There's a lot to do in there.
There is.
It's a full.
There's a wave pool.
Full out water park. It's not
if you
like
want to spend more money. There's cabanas that you can get.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it is
13 water slides.
I mean, if you're just looking at pure numbers of water slide, feet of water slide attractions, it's on par with Blizzard Beach, Typhoon Lagoon type of stuff. It just doesn't have the theming. The theme is water park.
The theme is you're in the Bahamas off a cruise ship at a water park in the tropics.
And it's crazy how far away from the island you can see that water slide tower. It is nuts.
Norwegian's private island is next to it, and you can see the water park
over there.
So you feel bad on the Norwegian's island because you're like, oh, there's no water slides.
It's just a beach.
Well, maybe the new Disney island will have a water park. I don't know. Maybe we'll see.
I do wish that there was just like a slide out there somewhere that I could have gone down for free. That's about it, though. Yeah. Poor kids. Anyway.
There's so the pool area has like a live DJ and it's kind of like a happening.
Yeah, we're not
more lively area.
Huge swim up.
We
bar.
walked through it and we were like, no,
not for us.
We were on the chill island side.
That's more Doug.
Sounds like Doug.
Very calm. We got a cabana because I wanted to work and I wanted to see out of the sun.
And I mean, we had a Wi-Fi router in the cabana, so it was stellar.
Yeah, and we didn't talk about this earlier, but Royal Caribbean's internet, amazing. It could have probably worked a little bit better on this cruise, but it's still amazing, fast. You can stream things on it. It's crazy. We were able to use that package. We actually never went out of airplane mode.
No, we're in airplane mode.
Usually we go off and use data on
Nassau.
Castaway.
Yeah, Castaway.
But we got water with our cabana. We got a cabana attendant.
Yes.
He was bored.
He was so bored because there's 20 cabanas on Chill Island. 3 were occupied.
And we just added ours the day before.
Yeah.
So
it's not like you guys are big drinkers and getting all the beverages running with them.
No. We were there so she could sit there and work all day in the shade
I asked for a daiquiri at, I think it was 8:30, and I said, "Is it too
like
early?"
8:45 in the morning.
Yeah.
You're like ordering daiquiris, and I'm like,
And I got a pina colada.
yeah,
So
don't know what happened there.
it was
Lost in
fine.
translation.
It was good.
But I got several Diet Cokes, and
I got several drinks.
And by the way, the Diet Cokes were on my drink package that I got, so I could get it at the restaurants, at the Coke Freestyle machines that were sporadically across the ship in a special cup, and then like in the cabana, they just kept bringing it to me. I could have just asked for more and more, but that would have gone
And
south.
the cabana attendant brought us lunch from the snack shack.
So we didn't have to get up and go to lunch. We could have gone to the buffet, which is very similar to Cookies. Biggest difference is they have a Mexican area with tacos and quesadillas and burritos again. That I would say that's the biggest difference. Otherwise, it's like the same meal.
There's ice cream.
I miss Cookies.
Yeah, there was some chicken wings though that looked really good, but I didn't have any because, well, I didn't want to get up and get them myself. I've been way too much work. I
would have been bored out of my mind. I would have went to the water park.
You would have had children though.
That's true. At the water park.
Took a nap.
Yeah, if our kids would have been there, we probably would have been in the water park, and that's a whole different day. But the cabana was awesome. I took a nap, then I ate some lunch, then I took some pictures of things, and then I floated in the ocean for a little bit, talked to one of the people in the neighboring cabanas. That was it.
Sounds like a perfect day.
For Doug, it is.
CoCo Cay.
And they give you a little Bluetooth speaker. And
so he blasted Jimmy Buffett. I apologize if anybody heard that.
Dude, they were playing like twangy country over there in the other one. And they were loud. So I had to turn mine up. Then they had to turn theirs up. And it was not chill for anybody one moment, but it was a lot of Jimmy Buffett.
Jimmy Buffett should be playing.
Island in the Bahamas.
Yes, I agree.
Chill island. There's only one
heads
musician.
unite.
They also have a hot air balloon that you can go in. It wasn't operating. It was too windy.
Too windy.
And then also they have CoCo Bay Beach Club.
Yeah.
CoCo Cay Beach Club. What am I?
Is that where the cabanas with the water slides are?
Yes. So there's another area, and that's like private, and you have to pay a fee to get in for a day pass.
They keep the riffraff like me out.
Yeah. But there's floating
makes
water
sense.
cabanas. Those are new within the last year and a half. They have a water slide. Yeah. So there's just so many different versions of cabanas, so many different versions of beaches.
You could go there 10 times and have 10 totally different types of days with the way you structure your day. I really enjoyed our cabana. It had a cooler full of ice and water, and then he'd bring us anything else.
Oh, and there's
brought us towels.
No masks on the island. I mean, they didn't tell us we needed to wear them. The crew did.
Yeah.
There's 400 and some people that live on that island.
But you have to remember that island was designed to service 2 Oasis-class ships at the same time, which I couldn't imagine 14,000 people there. But
yeah, and then going back
with your ship of 900 people on it.
Yeah,
how'd that feel? You had the island to yourselves.
I mean, we didn't need a cabana to get a chair, that's for sure. We got it for all the other luxuries, and so that she can tell people what it's like in the future.
I could keep my legs out of the sun.
Yeah, she had to keep her legs out of the sun. She's special.
Well, no one wants a sunburn on vacation either.
She couldn't get them. She had surgery on her legs, and she can't get them in the sun.
Yeah, all summer I'm supposed to keep them out of the sun.
Yeah, they told her that day of the surgery. Oh, by the way, you can't get them in the sun. And they start. That would have been good to know.
Back to NASA, though.
Yep.
We didn't talk about masks.
Masks.
Masks are required in NASA.
That's a local government rule, anywhere, everywhere. They weren't real strict at enforcing it.
We think that was because it was Sunday, and so because we didn't see any policemen.
Yeah, no police. So pretty sure it gets, because I've heard of the Adventure of the Seas has sailed out of there. I've heard several people on YouTube and other things say they were really strict about the masks outside heading to port from their hotel. So follow the local laws and regulations. Do they say to wear a mask? Don't argue with them. Just put it on. It's not going to be the end of the world. That's part of the deal of signing up to cruise right now. So
just be happy you're on the ship.
Darn right. And then happy you're on a tropical island. My gosh, it was great to just sit there.
And the weather was perfect, it seemed like, the whole time you were there?
No, there was scattered showers, but they never scattered us.
Oh.
Or hit us? I don't know if that's the right verb.
Did you guys partake on the ship in the pool deck or anything like that?
We
Nope.
walked by it
Okay.
a lot. We never swam on the ship. It was never full, that's for sure.
Was
I think we
the
had
was the
double
spa
full
operating and the casino operating, and what's
bus.
the policies with COVID in there?
So the casino was like split in half, vaccinated and unvaccinated. It still smells like a casino, so we just walk through as fast as we can. Um,
We didn't go in the spa.
no, we're good there.
No,
Not.
no bonus research for the trip or for the podcast. Okay,
I
Doug.
don't like
Oh,
yeah, that had been Doug. Yeah.
nah.
Not a spa person.
All I need is a nap.
I get that. I know that. So overall, how did the whole cruise feel for you?
It felt just like a cruise. I was I was full the whole time. I was relaxed. I think those are the two main things. And got to unpack once and wake up somewhere different. I mean, Michelle got to unpack once.
And Michelle got to pack again at the end.
True story.
Well,
No.
go.
What's your overall opinion?
It was great. I didn't see. I mean, we wear masks sometimes around here. Different places require masks. So having to wear a mask inside wasn't that big a deal for me. And it just I thought I'd forgotten how to cruise, but it all came back to me. Like, oh, it's dinner time. Oh, it's breakfast. So
Yeah.
it was good. It was really good. I can't wait to go on another one.
Yep. When's your next one booked? Do you have a Disney cruise coming up?
August 20th, my birthday cruise.
Ooh,
Fingers crossed.
I hope so.
Also, fingers crossed that Disney upgraded their internet and their
Yeah.
Wi-Fi during this time.
No, probably not. I doubt it.
Yeah.
Come on now, guys.
Yeah.
It doesn't make
Be
any sense.
realistic. So we'll talk about Disney here in a second, but let's talk about disembarkation with the changes and everything. You said you got the latest one. How does that go with
They had,
getting
like,
on the ship?
25 time slots, right?
No, they had 3. I did all the paperwork.
3, but on the TV screen it was all these different
You
slots.
had to pick what time you wanted to leave,
Okay.
and then they assigned you a spot.
One of 25 spots.
Well, there was like an hour spot each time,
okay.
but you didn't pick exactly what time you were given.
Oh.
So the night before, or actually the morning,
the
morning
first time they
before-
did the room.
yeah, they left. You know how on Disney Cruise Line they give you like a characters thing, and that's how you're going to find your bag if you let them take your luggage. They gave us a number sticker, which was 26, which was the last one of that ship. And you could put that on your bag and put it out in the hallway overnight, and then they would take it off the ship for you. We actually took our own off.
We just had 2 carry-ons anyway.
Yeah. If you wanted to walk off right away, you could, check that box. And that was, I believe, at 7 or 7:30. They were done with all numbers by 9. We
mean,
had to
it
get
was
off at like
quick.
9:10. We didn't
Yeah.
quite make it to 9:30.
Yeah, and once we got off, there wasn't like a huge crowd of people waiting for anything outside. It was just like kind of like how once you got through the doors to get on, it was just boom, 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 you're through. It was like that getting
It was
off.
kind of weird because normally we would eat breakfast and take our luggage to breakfast, but they didn't want your luggage in the main dining room where we
No.
ate. They didn't want you congregating in the promenade. Like they had people like standing there like, you're not coming this way. Where this is like already cleaned.
It was like either back to your room or off the ship or to
Yeah.
breakfast. Which,
That's all you need
How it
on your
how it
day you
should
get
be.
off. Yep.
Yeah.
in typical Doug fashion, for some reason, I'm never hungry at disembarkation breakfast. Every cruise, doesn't matter how long the cruise is.
That's
I
when
can't
your
eat it.
motion sickness patch is starting to wear off. Or
I think it's when the depression is setting in.
Oh, that
getting
makes
off the
sense.
ship. I don't know. It just is weird.
Well, hopefully you're back on a ship here pretty soon on a Disney cruise. Michelle, what is being discussed right now on the travel agency side with Disney Cruise Line?
Nothing.
We know
Oh,
nothing.
there you go. Yep.
Absolutely nothing.
It's all conjecture at this point.
Yeah.
But I'm usually right when it comes to just guessing and conjecturing. So should I give it a whirl on what they're going to require?
Sure.
I have no idea. No idea what they're going to do.
But, I mean, the first ship's leaving here 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
Like 26 days or 25 days. Yeah.
9th, I think. I think it's the 9th.
So I don't see them requiring, fully vaccinated. We didn't mention that the people were not vaccinated. They had a test before they arrived, got tested when they arrived, and then
They got tested at the port?
yeah. So if you're not going to if you're not going to volunteer your vaccine status, you get tested a whole bunch. So that's probably the route Disney's going to have to go. I could see some things being off limits to unvaccinated too, which could be the adult only areas, which that's kind of the main things that were vaccinated only were adult only spaces, because the only people that can't get vaccinated are, 11 and under. So
were there
everybody else,
many
it's
kids
choice.
on this trip?
There's a
More
few.
than I thought there would be.
I don't know. Like
Were the kids
50?
clubs even
A
open?
lot of teenagers.
The kids clubs were open. We did tour them because they got re-amplified as well. They said that you had to have time slots.
Ugh,
I think that's going to be going forward.
I'm going to get so mad. I already know that one's going to anger me.
Only 15 people could be in like one room, right?
Yeah.
Was that it? In a
Which
couple
there's
different
no
rooms?
way there was more than 15 kids that age on the ship. But
They have like a play area, like what you would find in like McDonald's, but like way better. But that was closed.
or Mall of America, Derek.
Okay.
Oh, got it.
There we go.
Hey,
Sorry.
that was actually open. It was great.
And then Royal does charge after 10 p.m. So per hour per kid.
Yeah. But it's like till 2
but
a.m.
yeah, they
before
go till like
COVID.
2 a.m. It's pretty crazy. I think it's 1 now.
One right now, but
But yeah, time slots. Did they say if you could have a max number? I don't remember that part. I don't think that was important right now because there's so few of kids on a board. But they were very excited about their new spaces.
But yeah, I bet we see time slots for a while. And I bet we see unvaccinated guests needing masks, because that makes sense.
Yep, nope, it does.
Especially if we want to keep the cruise ships going, that's what makes sense. Doesn't matter what you feel. We don't need another shutdown for 15 months, right? So they're going to have a bunch of rules. Like fish extenders, they're never going to happen again. This is Disney
my
Channel.
cruise group right
Should
now
never let that happen again.
is all like they're about to close all the fish extender groups right now.
Ours, so we've known they're not allowing them in England, right? That is a known thing. We've known some protocols for England. And it's funny hearing people in the cruise groups be like, well, that's just for England. Like, Disney's going to get rid of fish extenders forever because you people went crazy and made things larger than the wall. Like you have to get around them. It was great when it was just one
You know what
little
else
thing.
we're not going to be able to do? Decorate the door. I'm just
What?
kidding.
Yeah, that's
I'm
not
just
even
kidding.
No,
funny.
I want to decorate my door. Yeah, don't take
No,
that away. Knock on
now-
something.
When it comes to decorating the door, they may say no three-dimensional. No
lights,
Joe might get
Joe.
in trouble.
No more
This
lights
is-
around the door, Joe.
Yeah. But the new rule might just say rope drop radio magnets only.
Oh, I hope so. And if you need a magnet, let us know. We'll send you one.
That's right.
Yep.
So I think it's going to be fairly similar to what we saw, because it's a mixed vaccinated,
We'll
unvaccinated.
see. Hopefully they make an announcement by the time this episode comes out. I'm sure that's what's going to happen.
Since we're talking about it.
Yep. That's why we're talking about it. So they make the announcement. So if you're listening, Disney, please do that. So
I do wish when we check in 30 days in advance, it's everybody that's on board doing it at the same time. And we want to get that earliest embarkation time. I wish Platinum got to check in one day and then then gold, silver.
that makes sense. I would assume
Because
that.
I want that early boarding time. That's what worries me the most, is that we're going to get 4:00 and Cabanas is already going to be closed. How am I going to eat lunch?
I just want to make sure I get some of the tastings in and stuff like that.
They were doing things like that, weren't they? Various alcohol tastings and
On your cruise?
no, they weren't.
No.
I think I was looking at some of the England stuff.
Oh.
They were doing some of it in England. I mean, if you're vaccinated, why not? Right? It probably comes down to staffing.
Shots, literally and figuratively with the crew. Anyway, there you go. That's funny.
Yeah. So it was fun. I think Disney will be pretty similar experience. Because they're gonna have so many kids. Or maybe they'll come out and say sorry, no kids allowed.
Nope, that's not happening.
That'd be amazing.
That would be awful. I would know.
Just
Michelle's like, no, I wouldn't book any trips. I would lose money. Doug, shut up. You're ruining her whole business.
Do that. See, if I say that, they won't do it.
Oh my gosh. Michelle's going to slap you after the show. But it sounds like you guys had an amazing time. Jealous. You posted a whole bunch of content on our social media, so make sure you go check that out at Rope Drop Radio. And Michelle, if someone's listening to this right now and says, I want to book a cruise, I want to go to somewhere on an island in the tropics I missed out over the last 18 months, how do they do that?
Yeah, contact me. I'd love to book you. We are booking all the way for Royal. We're booking all the way to 2022, I believe. So we can book it. If you don't want to go tomorrow, we can book it next year. I hope you don't want to go tomorrow because most of those cruises are sold out.
Oh, we didn't talk about my attempt to ride on the Flow Rider.
We did. He didn't do it. Don't. No.
I was just going to leave that hanging out there as we ended the show. No. I didn't do the Flow Rider because I decided I wanted to be able to walk the next 3 days.
Makes sense, yeah. You got to be a dentist.
It doesn't go in that at all. This is just how our shows never end.
That is true.
Goodness. No.
Okay, so anyway, Michelle, you book all cruise lines, Norwegian, Carnival, Disney, and everything is booking
Princess
right
All
now.
America.
And everyone's getting ready to sail and book.
Yes. Yep. Everybody. So don't wait, because people that waited for to see what it was going to be like what we just did, the next month or two are sold out of Freedom of the Seas. So yeah, but so get to booking. There's a refundable deposit. So, if things happen, we can always move you into the future. It's time to book your vacations.
That's been the lesson with Disney World the last few months.
Yeah,
and now it's the lesson for cruising.
Travel's back, and it's
pack
back
your patience, but it's back for flights.
Yeah, that will be the Patreon show.
Oh, the flights? Yes, because we didn't talk about your flight home. It is a doozy, and we will talk about more of that on the Patreon show. But if you want to book a trip, which you should, I have 2 cruises booked right now, so cannot wait for those to happen. Thank you, Michelle, for getting me those cruises. So I love booking with you, and I'll put your email in the show notes so you can book with her as well. But we are going to get to the Patreon. So if you want to be a part of that group, go to that link in the show notes as well. And you can listen to some bonus content and all sorts of great things. But Michelle, Doug, thank you guys. I'm glad you're back safe and sound. And it sounds like you had a lot of fun.
We did.
It was great.
All right. And thank you guys so much for listening to Rope Drop Radio.